All right, so here we are for our 2018 San Francisco 49ers win-loss predictions of the season. And joining us is our special guest, 49ers fan, JD with HawkHaterTV. Welcome to the Sports Fairy, man.
How's it going?
Appreciate you joining us.
Hey, thanks for having me, guys. You guys have a really good channel. We have a really good thing going, and if we're talking 49er football, I'm your guy. So I feel like I had to come on here and rep my squad. Chop it up with you guys and talk some 49er football.
Hell yeah, man. Now, your 49ers, how do you feel about them going into this season? There seems to be a lot of optimism out there in San Francisco.
That's the theme. Tons of optimism this year. Of course, the Jimmy G effect is a real thing. Kyle Shanahan and John going into year 2 of their regime. Tons of roster turnover in the last year or so. And things are looking up. I mean, they went 5-0 to finish the year last year. Everybody knows that. Everybody knows that, Jimmy Garoppolo has just turned this franchise around and changed the hopes and dreams of Niner fans everywhere. And so this year, 2018, is definitely looking like it's going to be a year where the team is headed in the right direction.
Oh, man, yes. I'm a firm believer in Jimmy G. As soon as he got traded to you guys and he was able to start, he went on a run with you guys.
Yeah.
This is a guy who I think could be one of the best quarterbacks in the NFL. I mean, he just absolutely elevates the players around him. And I see quite a bit of Tom Brady in Jimmy G, especially in the fact where, his pre- and post-play snap awareness. I mean, this dude is amazing. Like, right before the snap, after the snap, adjusting to the defenses, this dude is poised. He's very instinctive.
Yeah.
Jimmy G is going to be a beast in this league.
Yeah.
So I understand the hype around Jimmy G. I can get it. I get it.
Yeah, he's got a lot going for y'all. Y'all got a lot going for y'all. Still a young team. A lot going for you.
I also like the pickup of Jerick McKinnon. I think he could fit very well into Kyle Shanahan's offense there. Mm-hmm.
This offseason was huge for this team. I mean, we already had Jimmy G in the fold, and we just kind of added, like you said, you alluded to the Jerick McKinnon signing. That was huge. A way better fit than a guy like Carlos Hyde was for Kyle Shanahan's own running scheme.
Yeah. Sure.
So, the moves they made in the offseason, bringing in Richard Sherman, bringing in Weston Richburg, bringing in the guys that they did are more it was for scheme fit more than anything. This roster's been over so much, and within a year's time, Kyle Shanahan, you can already see the vision that he has for this team and what he wants in a player. And man, it's looking good for the Niners right now, I'll tell you.
Yeah, I also like what you guys did in the draft too. I mean, I like the drafting of Mike McGlinchey.
Yeah, Mike McGlinchey.
Yeah, that's going to be solid for your offensive line. Mm-hmm. I also liked the Dante Pettis draft pick, wide receiver from Washington. Mm-hmm. This dude, I was looking at his game tape, man, and this guy is, he is an absolute solid route runner.
I've heard there's a lot of buzz around him.
Especially that short to medium, range. I think he could be a great third down target for Jimmy G. So, man, you guys made some moves. It's gonna be pretty exciting to see what's going on in San Francisco this year.
Most definitely. We're getting the ball rolling with preseason this week. You alluded to Dante Pettis. He's been tearing it up at camp.
Oh,
the dude's
I've been hearing that.
Absolutely insane. He has some quick feet. He has this body language when he runs his routes that just throws defenders off. They don't know how to really read his body language when he's running his routes, and he's getting separation every single rep in practice. And I'll be honest with you. If anybody watches my videos on my channel with my draft reaction video, I wasn't the biggest Dante Pettis guy when we got him, but he's proven me wrong already. And hey, no problem being wrong. Make me wrong, Dante Pettis. Come out, ball out. I don't care. Make me wrong, please.
Yeah, you got to. You got to hope for them to prove you wrong, right?
Mm-hmm.
Trubisky proved you wrong.
Oh yeah, absolutely. All right, so let's get right into it. Let's get into the 2018 season schedule here, and we're going to start off with Week 1. San Francisco starts the season on the road against the Minnesota Vikings.
Yeah.
Now, I'm a Chicago Bears fan, so I would love nothing more for you guys to beat the Vikings. But can you guys pull this off straight up the starting the season on the road here?
I might lose a few subscribers, piss off some Niner fans when I say this. No, I don't think we win week 1 at Minnesota. They're a juggernaut of a team. They made it to the NFC title game last year. They're absolutely stacked. The game is at home in Minnesota. They picked up Kirk Cousins, who's only going to make their offense better. Unfortunately, I don't see the Niners winning that game week 1.
Okay.
Yeah, it's going to be a rough one. You're running the first week running into a Super Bowl contender, right? Like you said, Kirk Cousins and that defense. It's going to be a good test to see how Kyle Shanahan and Jimmy G, how much work they put in the offseason, right?
Yep.
So it's going to be interesting. It's going to be fun, though. It's going to be a good test.
As much as I'd like for you guys to beat the Vikings, I would be shocked if you guys can get the road win here to start the season.
Yeah.
But I'm gonna say it's possible. Kirk Cousins, he's in a new team, new system.
Yeah.
Maybe it takes a game or two to start clicking in real game time. So I don't know. It's possible, but I'm gonna count this as a loss for the 49ers here.
Yeah.
All right, now heading into week 2, you guys are at home, first home game, going up against another one of my division rivals, the Detroit Lions. Can you guys start the season off here at home with the win?
100%. I definitely think we beat the Detroit Lions week 2. It's the home opener. All the hype that's building up around the 49ers finally comes to a head when all the fans pack into Levi Stadium week 2. And, they're going to be in full throat. They're going to be hyped up. It's going to be a good environment week 2 in our home opener. And I definitely think that they can come away with the win in that game. I don't see the Detroit Lions being, that kind of a team that can just come on the road to Levi Stadium in the home opener with that kind of environment and pick up the win against the Niners. Their defense doesn't scare me. Darius Slay is a solid player, but Jimmy G will pick the rest of that defense apart. I mean, I don't even think I can name a single linebacker that plays for the Detroit Lions. So, I think the Niners pick up the win week 2.
Yeah, I got you guys winning this one. Exactly what you said. Jimmy G is going to torch that secondary. Darius Slay, good.
Yeah.
But just what you said. He's going to just work everyone else.
See, this one I was kind of going back and forth on, just because of the simple fact that Detroit also has a great offense, right? We have seen Matthew Stafford proven it year after year, and he's very underrated. Josh, you know that as a division rival. So I felt like this could be a shootout, in my opinion, right? This also just depends on kind of where Richard Sherman's going to be at. I know didn't he have like an ankle injury not too long ago? I know they said it's not serious, but this is going to be a good test for the secondary with Matthew Stafford here. Mm-hmm. But I got y'all winning, but I think it still could go either way. But it being at home, being the excitement and the buzz, I think the fans are going to be loud. That's why I got y'all winning at home.
And I'm going to love it.
Yeah, it could go either way. Sherman definitely, that's a big question mark right now. He just sustained an ankle injury in practice the other day. Yeah. And then you also have to remember the Niners are starting off the year, the first 2 games, without Reuben Foster. And that's huge for our defense.
Yeah. I totally forgot about that.
But, you're talking about our draft class earlier. Rookie middle linebacker Fred Warner that we got out of BYU.
Yeah.
He's already being talked about as the best coverage linebacker on the team, even better than Reuben. So in terms of playing against a team like the Detroit Lions with Matthew Stafford, who want to throw the ball all over the field, I think that Fred Warner is going to come in there and fill Reuben's shoes, decent in that game. And I don't think we're going to hurt too bad. So, again, at the end of the day, Niners pick up the win in the home opener.
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
So we're all unanimous there.
Yep.
Oh, wow.
Now, heading into week 3 now.
Yes.
San Francisco's back on the road, heading to Arrowhead Stadium against the Kansas City Chiefs. They have a new quarterback in Patrick Mahomes, who this will be his first full season.
Yep.
And what do you see playing out here on the road?
Everybody knows that Arrowhead is not the easiest place to play at all. It is loud. It is crazy. The fans are nuts. It's a really hostile environment for a team to come in and play. But at the end of the day, their defense is gutted. They lost Marcus Peters in the offseason.
Yep, that's true.
Derek Johnson's gone at linebacker. They lost Tamba Hali in the offseason. Their defense from the back end to the front has been completely gutted.
Yeah.
And I see the Niners going into Arrowhead Stadium, playing against that young, inexperienced quarterback in Pat Mahomes, who so far in camp has been an interception machine, and pulling out the. It's kind of unlikely. It could go either way, just based on where we're playing. But I think there's a lot of factors that are going to play into the Niners' favor, and I think they pick up the win week 3.
Interesting. Yeah, I'm actually right there with you, man. I got the 49ers going on the road and winning. After that big win against Detroit, I think they're going to be very confident. Now, Arrowhead is an awesome place, awesome state. I went there. We actually are going to go back there this year. Josh didn't get to make it when I went. And it is an amazing stadium, amazing fans, very loud, very passionate. So it is going to be a good test for Jimmy G. But Jimmy G does have that composure. That's what I like about him. So I think he can handle that. Mm-hmm. And it's still early in the season. It's not going to be too cold out there. I went there in December. It was like 9 degrees. I felt like I was going to die. But it's not going to be that cold this time. I think y'all can win it on the road.
This will be the 49ers' first road win here for me in the season. It's going to be a great marker point for the 49ers.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly what you guys said. Kansas City, a little bit depleted in the defense. Mm-hmm. So I think the 49ers can go and get a road win here in Kansas City. Now, staying on the road in week 4, they're going to Los Angeles to play against the Chargers. Ooh. Chargers are a team that I'm pretty high on this year, even with the loss of Jason Verrett, which doesn't necessarily surprise me. I mean, this is a team that's always get injuries, but they're just so stacked, especially up front on the defense with Joey Bosa and everybody.
Yeah.
So, JD, is this a win or a loss for you against Chargers?
If you would have asked me a couple months ago, I would have told you that I think the Niners have what it takes to win this game. But the closer we get to the season, the more I think about it, I think this is one that gets away from them. Phillip Rivers is capable of beating anybody on any given day. Keenan Allen is a monster. The Niners secondary, while talented, is really young and inexperienced outside of Richard Sherman. You know, they have second-year guy, Kella Witherspoon, second-year safety, Adrian Colbert, Jaquiski Tartt, who's been in the league for a few years but, has battled injuries and whatnot and isn't really necessarily the greatest coverage guy. So I can see that being a game where the Niners go in and it might be a close game. It might be a shootout just because of the Chargers secondary taking some hits and whatnot. Yeah. But I think at the end of the day, I think the Chargers can pull that one out.
Okay. Yeah, I'm going to go with the Chargers as well. I think they're just a little bit ahead of the curve as far as of where they're at.
Yeah.
I got the Chargers winning this game right here at home.
Yeah, I think it's going to be a little bit too much because the Chargers had the number 1 passing offense last year. We finally saw Keenan Allen stay healthy for a full year, and look what he did, a monster. And, I know a lot of people might say, well, Richard Sherman, he's going to lock him down.
Don't forget Melvin Gordon, he too.
Oh, yeah, him, Melvin Gordon too. But I remember it was like four years ago, 3 years ago, Keenan Allen and Richard Sherman went head-to-head, and Keenan Allen did pretty good against them. Those quick, short routes, Keenan Allen's a great route runner. So I don't have any doubts, even if Richard Sherman's at his A game, that Keenan Allen still could have a good game. So, I got Chargers here at home.
All right, so we all have the Chargers winning. Yeah. Heading into Week 5, San Francisco is back at home hosting the Arizona Cardinals.
Yep.
JD, are you worried about the Cardinals here at home?
Division.
It's Week 5 for this Cardinals game. So by that time of the year, you can expect Sam Bradford to be down with some sort of season-ending injury. They're probably going to have Josh Rosen come in there by that time of the year.
Yeah.
I don't think they're on the Niners level. Their defense is good, but they have a brand new head coach. They lost Arians, which cannot be understated. That will impact their offense big time, losing Bruce Arians in favor of a defensive-minded coach in Steve Wilks. So, I think the Niners take that game, especially since they're at home.
Yeah. I have the Niners winning this game as well. I have question marks at quarterback. If Sam Bradford is down, it's Josh Rosen. How is he going to be ready to handle the 49ers? I don't think so. And if Sam Bradford's playing, I don't know. That just doesn't really impress me. So I'm going for the 49ers. I mean, David Johnson's going to be a beast.
That's going to be the key to me. I do have 49ers winning this. I think it's going to be a close one because it's a divisional game. Most divisional games are solid, especially in y'all's division. It doesn't matter how good or bad teams are; they always seem to be good games. But David, you can't underestimate David Johnson. You can't underestimate Larry Fitzgerald. They got Christian Kirk, so they do have some weapons on offense. So we'll have to see how. That's the biggest question mark. But they still had a top 10 defense last year. So we can't underestimate that defense showing up and balling out. But Yeah, it's at home. I think y'all should be able to carry this out and win this game.
Okay. You have it as a win. We have it as a loss for the Cardinals and a win for the 49ers.
Yeah.
All right, so heading in to Week 6, you guys are on the road against the Green Bay Chiefs.
Prime time Monday Night Football.
And I'm just going to start off. I think this is going to be a loss. I think this is a game that could be really interesting and really good. I can't wait for this. This matchup of Jimmy G versus Aaron Rodgers. I think 49ers, this is a game that they could surprise people and walk away with the win here in Lambeau. But as of right now, I'm going to have to go with the Cheeseheads. JD?
They're playing in Lambeau. It's Monday night. Historically, the Niners play great on Monday Night Football. And in recent memory, they played really well against the Packers. But this is a brand new team, brand new regime. Things are different than the Harbaugh years when they were beating Aaron Rodgers seemingly, every season. I think the Niners are just a little too young, a little too inexperienced to go into Lambeau Field on a Monday night and pull out the win against Aaron Rodgers, who I think is going to be on an MVP comeback tear this year. Yeah. So unfortunately, I think the Niners let this one slip through the cracks.
It's kind of funny because, I think everybody's feeling that way, that Aaron Rodgers is going to come out and have MVP-type season. We all have been thinking that, man. And that's very true, man. It's going to be tough in Lambeau. I got Green Bay winning this, too. Mm-hmm. With Aaron Rodgers, man, I don't know. I don't know how that's going to happen.
And we'll be streaming for this game here on this channel, and It's going to be a game that we can't wait to call because I will want the 49ers to win this game. And if they do, I'm going to go crazy because
your Bears is going to come out there.
Screw Green Bay. All right, heading into Week 7, 49ers are back at home. They're hosting the Los Angeles Rams.
Yep.
Rams are a pretty stacked team. I think this is a Super Bowl contending team.
Oh, this is Sunday Night Football, too.
Yeah. So, JD, how do you see this one playing out?
If you paid attention to social media recently, Aaron Donald posted some workout video, and he's pretty disgruntled. We all know that. We all know he hasn't reported to the Rams camp. He posted a video today, the day we're recording this video, saying, "Hey, somebody come get me." He wants to be paid. He wants the money, and as you know, we can only play in the here and now. And right now, Aaron Donald's not in camp. So as far as this prediction goes, I'm going to pretend that Aaron Donald is not playing. Ultimately, do I think he'll be there, come Week 7? Yeah. But right now, the way things are shaped up, I think the Niners take this game. I think they're at home. It's their throwback night. They're wearing their 1994 throwback jerseys that everyone's hyped about. I think that these two teams match up pretty well. Last year, you saw Brian Hoyer drop almost 40 points against the Rams at home at Levi's Stadium. Kyle Shanahan knows how to scheme a game plan. Him and McVay are going to be probably the biggest head coaching matchup for the next 10 years. The two stud young head coaches going back and forth at each other year. But I think the Niners take this one at home. I think that their defense, the Niners defense, will be gelling towards that point of the year. They're getting more comfortable with each other. Of course, Reuben Foster will be on the field. I think the Niners. I think they take it.
Okay, sure. Right.
I actually have the Rams winning this one on the road. Now, I know, but by this is Week 7, all right? This is about when everybody kind of gets in a rhythm. They added a lot of new pieces. Their defense was not that great last year, but they've added Marcus Peters, a ball hawk. They added Aqib Talib, another ball hawk, and very physical guy. I really think this defense is going to be a night and day from last year, and they still have Wade Phillips, who's a great schemer. He's one of the best defensive coordinators in the game. He just didn't have anything to work with last year, right? So I think this year their defense is going to look a lot better. And maybe if it was early in the season, I could probably see y'all pulling that off. But it just this about halfway through the season, I think everybody's going to be in rhythm and a good connection built. And I just see the Rams are going to be a little bit too much.
Yeah. I'm going with the Rams here as well. But JD, you made some really good points.
Yeah.
Especially if Sam Darnold is not in this game, I would probably then
Aaron
go
Donald,
with
you mean?
Aaron Donald. I always do that. I always do that.
You always get the first name mixed up.
I always get the first names mixed up. But yeah, if Aaron Donald is not playing,
that'll be a big loss.
Yeah, then I'm going with the Niners on that one. But yeah, as of right now, I'm gonna go with the Rams.
Yeah. All right.
But we'll see. We'll see if that super team can prove themselves by this point.
Yeah.
Heading into Week 8, Niners are on the road and they're playing against the Arizona Cardinals.
Yep.
JD, do they split the series? The Cardinals?
They sweep the Arizona Cardinals this year.
Woo! Wow!
Wow!
And sweep them.
Okay.
I'm not. The Cardinals don't scare me. Losing Bruce Arians to me is a bigger deal than I think a lot of people are thinking about. That offense is not going to be the same. Yeah, David Johnson will be back. He's a great player. I get it. But Larry Fitzgerald's another year older. Sam Bradford does not scare me. Josh Allen, honestly, I think Josh Allen will turn out to be a really good quarterback, but it's too early. So the Rams, the Cardinals don't scare me this year. I think it's going to take them, a year to get, into the groove of things with their new head coach. I think that, they have nice pieces on defense, obviously, but they lost Honey Badger too, so that's going to be a big deal. I know they have Buda Baker, who they're ranting and raving about, but losing the Honey Badger, losing that cohesion on the back end of your defense is a big deal. Patrick Peterson's great. I totally understand that. Patrick Peterson's one of the best, but losing his running mate there, Badger, that's going to affect that secondary. So I think the Niners sweep them this year.
Interesting.
Okay.
Wow.
I could say that possibly playing out a sweep of the Arizona Cardinals. There's definitely some question marks there. We'll see how it goes, but I'm gonna go with an Arizona Cardinals win here.
You pulling a split?
Split in the series. Yeah. Yeah. What do you think?
I'm kind of leaning towards a split too, because I understand where the Honey Badger thing comes into play, right? But he's been hurt most of his career there, anyways, and they've still had a top 5 defense. So I wouldn't say it's going to be too much of a loss to them with Honey Badger gone. But Larry Fitzgerald's getting old, but we haven't seen that age catch up to him, man. This guy's still catching 100 passes a year, and I don't see it him slowing down. So I got to go with a split. I think Arizona's going to be a little bit better, even though yes, Bruce Arians did leave, and it's going to change their offense. I think they might go simpler and just feed the ball and give it to David Johnson as much as possible, just like how he's been wanting it for the past couple of years. He wants 1,000 yards rushing, 1,000 yards receiving, like a Marshall Faulk. So let's see if that actually comes true, and I think it's going to be a good game, though, either way.
Yeah. Going into Week 9, Thursday Night Football, San Francisco playing against the Oakland Raiders. JD
this gets fired up.
Ready for this one. Let him have it, Ray JD.
Let me tell you guys, if there's one game on the calendar that I've had circled, it's this one. The final Battle of the Bay, the final game in the history of the San Francisco 49ers and the Oakland Raiders. It's going to be an absolute just crazy atmosphere. Yep. If you're in the Bay Area and you're not at that game, there's something wrong with you. That is the premier sporting event in the Bay Area this year. It's going to be absolutely crazy. I'm wondering if there's going to be more stabbings at that game than there are points scored.
Oh, God.
No. It's one of those kinds of games. It's one of those kinds of environments. It's going to be nuts. The Niners coming in with Jimmy G, Kyle Shanahan, all that hype, and the Raiders coming in with John Gruden and their much improved offense. They brought in Martavis Bryant and Jordy Nelson to go along with Amari Cooper, and their defense. Who knows if they're going to have Khalil Mack or not? But that game is going to be a big one, and the winner of that game is going to have bragging rights in the Bay Area for the rest of time, because the Raiders are leaving the Bay Area sooner than later. So at the end of the day, when the clock strikes 0 and the fans are walking out of the stadium, trying not to stumble all over each other because they're probably going to be drunk and crazy. That's how Niners Raiders games are, point blank. The Niners are taking that game.
All right.
Niners, okay.
I absolutely have the 49ers winning this game. I look at the Oakland Raiders, and I just have so many questions. What they did in the offseason, I don't know if those were good moves or the worst I've seen. I mean, as far as that draft class
Could be a mad genius
that John Gruden had. And, and if Khalil Mack, he holds out, he's not playing, this could get really ugly for the Oakland Raiders.
Yeah.
And then and then Derek Carr and that offense. I like Derek Carr, but Amari Cooper, can he actually step up to be the guy? Because he has to now.
Can he catch the
no
ball?
Michael Crabtree there to bail out Derek Carr when Amari Cooper can't catch those passes and get it done. And in the running game, who knows if Doug Martin and Marshawn Lynch will be healthy by this point? I mean, it's possible that those guys, or at least one of them, is out by week 9. So, yeah, I have the 49ers win this game.
Yeah, I think we're all unanimous there. The secondary, I don't understand why the Raiders did not address that at all. A lot of people thought they were going to, and then they all of a sudden went offensive line, like with half their draft picks. So I was puzzled. I don't know if, like I said, I don't know if John Gruden's a mad genius or what. We're going to have to find out. But I got to go with the 49ers here. I like their moves. And but I will say this is Thursday Night Football. So this is Thursday Night Football gets crazy.
Jimmy's just going to pick apart that secondary like nobody's business. Into Week 10, 49ers stay at home. This is Monday Night Football going up against the New York Giants.
Oh, another prime time.
They got to go from coast to coast.
Yep.
JD, there's no way you guys lose to the Giants, right?
We're at home the week before against the Raiders. 10 days later, we're still at home. We're playing the New York Giants. They're flying from the East Coast all the way out here. And if you just look at the Niners' track record, on Monday Night Football, especially at home, they don't lose. The Niners are juggernauts on Monday nights. And that Niners-Giants rivalry going back to, the 80s and 90s is still there. The fans still reminisce about it. And so this game's going to be huge. It's going to be a big game for Niner fans. It's going to be a big game for Giants fans. Yeah. The Giants coming in with Saquon Barkley and Odell Beckham and Evan Ingram and all those weapons. And, Eli Manning is supposed to be having a comeback season, even though he's a little bit older. But I'm wondering about their defense. I know that they had a great defense 2 years ago. Last year they had a down year. But I'm just wondering how that defense is going to come back. They didn't play that great last year. So I think they come out here to San Francisco on Monday Night Football, and the Niners get the win.
I had this as a win as well for the San Francisco 49ers. Sean?
This one I kind of went back and forth on. I'm actually going to go with the New York Giants on this one.
Woo!
Now, y'all are coming off. Yeah, y'all are playing on Thursday night, then it's all the way to Monday night. But the New York Giants are on a bye week. They're coming off a bye week going into this game. So they have just enough time to prepare here.
Okay.
Taking a week off, not even playing. So I'm looking at this. The Giants, I think, even as a division rival, I'm a Cowboy fan, so it's rough for me to say this. I think they had one of the best drafts this past year. Will Hernandez, Saquon Barkley, all these guys they brought in, I think is going to really help out that offense. Mm-hmm. Plus, Odell Beckham, who's going to cover him? I think Odell Beckham is in a contract year, right? He's playing for a contract. Yeah, I know they're talking contract, but I don't think they're going to get anything done. So he's going to ball out looking for that big payday. And I feel like this could be one of those games that y'all are coming off a high emotional win, and it's just going to be the Giants going to be well prepared for this game. And I love Pat Shurmur, the new head coach for the Giants, because the Giants team last year I think just quit. They quit on their coach.
Yeah.
It's not a lack of talent. I think it was just a lack of motivation. So I think this year that they'll be a lot better. Maybe not a lot better, but they're going to be better than they played last year. So I don't know. I was going back and forth. But this could be I think the 49ers could easily win this game. It's just one of those, I don't know.
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
Me and JD have 49ers. You have the Giants.
Yeah.
And then you guys are heading into the bye week here at week 11.
Yeah, late bye week.
Yeah, late bye week.
Yep.
So you guys get to rest up, get together.
Yeah.
Absolutely perfect bye week. I love where the bye week is in the schedule. I mean, it's a perfect time of the year for us, and sets us up beautifully for the second half.
Yeah.
Yep. And going into the second half of the season for you guys, week 12 on the road against the Tampa Bay Buccaneers.
Yeah.
I'm just going to say it. This is going to be a easy win for me for the 49ers. JD?
I'm not even going to give you any reasons Niners win the game.
Yeah, I think we're all unanimous there. I'm not sure if anybody's really confident in Tampa Bay this year.
Yeah, no eating of the W's for Jameis Winston.
No.
Who will be playing by this point. Shit.
Oh, Lord.
All right, week 13, 49ers on the road against the Seattle Seahawks.
This is the first game against them this year, too.
Yeah, pretty late in the season. JD, go ahead.
It's a Sunday night game. in Seattle. Richard Sherman's return up to that area.
Yep.
I hate the Seattle Seahawks. Again, my channel name is HawkHaterTV for a reason. I cannot stand the Seattle Seahawks, and it has been a long time since we've not only beaten them, but beaten them in Seattle. It seems like it's almost impossible for these 49ers to go up there and win in Seattle.
Yeah.
Richard Sherman is going to give us a lot of intel on what they want to do, defensively and offensively. He knows that team like the back of his hand. He knows Pete Carroll. I think the Niners are going to go in there more prepared than they've been in years past. I think the crowd noise isn't going to be as big of a factor because I don't think Jimmy G's the kind of guy that's going to get flustered in that situation. He's cool, calm, and collected. And so I think the Niners, they're going to go up there and they're going to play well. It's going to be a tough game, but I think Seattle pulls it out just because we just for some reason cannot win up there, and I want them to show me before I go pounding my chest about, hey, we're going to beat them in Seattle. You got to show me.
I think that's fair.
Yeah.
I have this as a win for Seattle here at home. Their defense definitely has got holes in it now, depleted. Offensive line, just terrible. It was just so bad, and they didn't do much to address that issue. I do like Rashad Penny, even though that I thought it was a bit of a reach in the first round there.
Yeah.
But I think he still could be a good back. But Russell Wilson, this is a guy who is one of the absolute best ballers out there in the NFL. So Russell Wilson at home, divisional game, I think he's going to go out there and try to get this done. But yeah. So I got Seattle.
I think we're all unanimous there, man. And I know it's not easy for you to say the Seattle Seahawks are going to win. I know that's rough, so I got to show you some props on that, man. Give you some props. But yeah, it's Seattle.
Just one more. As long as they have Russell Wilson, I get their defense is decimated. I understand all that. But as long as they have Russell Wilson back there running around and doing all the magician stuff that he does, they have a chance to beat anybody. And I hate the guy, but I'm it. So.
Yeah.
I call him magician all the time. He stole the words right out of my mouth. I literally say it every video we talk about him.
Well,
he's a magician, man. This guy. And Doug Baldwin, I love him. He's one of the most underrated receivers, I think, in the game. I think Russell Wilson, Doug Baldwin there, they're still going to be able to compete. So, yeah.
This will be a good one. We'll be streaming for that game.
Yes.
And it's going to be
Man, y'all got a lot of primetime games this year, man.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, my goodness.
5 of them.
I like it.
5. And we're going to be calling every single one of them.
Yes, sir.
So, we'll see how it goes down. Going into Week 14, Denver Broncos coming in to Levi Stadium.
Yep.
This is going to be a tough matchup for you guys. How do you see this one playing out?
Case Keenum does not scare me. He's a solid quarterback. That's it. Emmanuel Sanders, good receiver. Demaryius Thomas, he's not what he used to be. The Denver Broncos are seemingly bringing in a new running back every other season because they don't really have that great of a run game right now. Their defense is great. Don't get me wrong. Von Miller is an absolute stud. They have pieces in their secondary, Bradley Roby, Chris Harris, whatnot. They brought in Bradley Chubb on that D-line to pair with Von Miller. But their offense doesn't put any fear into my heart. And so I think the Niners can put up more points than the Broncos are going to put up that week, and the Niners are going to pull out that game.
Okay. I have the Broncos winning this game. Their defense, it's amazing. It's not just good. It's absolutely stacked. That pass rush is going to be one of the most feared in the NFL with Von Miller and Bradley Chubb. And, yes, Case Keenum, he's not a guy who's going to go out there and just wow you. But what he brings to the Denver Broncos this year is stability, an identity, something that they just did not have last year whatsoever.
Yep.
And I think that's all they really need to be successful this year. A quarterback who's not going to go out there and just fuck everything up like they did, like they had last year. I mean, I look at Paxton Lynch and those other guys, and I just think, how the hell are they even in the NFL? They're just so bad.
Yeah.
Just to counter that real quick. Yeah, you say Case Keenum brings stability. When I look at Case Keenum, I don't see a picture of stability. The guy's had one good season, a flash in the pan year. Who's to say he's going to trade teams and do the same exact thing? I he's been a career backup his entire career for a reason. He has one great year. Now everyone wants to say, "Oh, Case Keenum's this really good quarterback." I want to pump the brakes on that. You got to show me that you can do it another year.
Well, he's not going to be a great quarterback or anything like that. But he absolutely does bring stability to Denver because of comparatively.
Yeah.
Comparatively to what they had last year.
That's true.
That's what I'm saying. He's not going to go out there and win games for Denver Broncos. By no means. Not at all. Yeah. And then I do like the running game that they have here with Royce Freeman.
I like Royce Freeman.
Yeah. But what does worry me about the Broncos is Vance Joseph. I think he's absolutely one of the worst coaches.
Yeah.
I think it's possible that he could go into San Francisco and just fuck this up. And it's just all on that defense.
Yeah.
This could be a win for San Francisco, but I'm going with Denver as of right now.
Yeah, I'm kind of leaning towards Denver, too. There are some question marks, right? You got a good point, JD, that Case Keenum only did good 1 year. But I look at the team he did good for, Minnesota Vikings.
Similar offense.
Very similar style of team. They had a great defense that they relied on. Vikings didn't need him to do much. They just need him not to turn over the ball. And that's what he did, right? And he just got it in his playmaker's hands. I feel like Demaryius Thomas still got some more years. Even if Emmanuel Sanders doesn't do good, they still drafted Cortland Sutton, which I thought was one of the best receivers coming into the draft.
Deshaun
Hamilton, right, out of Penn State. So they got two young receivers right behind those guys. So I think Denver could do enough on offense. Their defense is going to have to win them games. It's no doubt in my mind. I'm not trusting that offense to win games. I'm just trusting that offense not to lose games like he did in Minnesota with Case Keenum.
But this was a game I literally went back and forth with, probably the most out of any game.
I could see 49ers easily winning this, depending on what Broncos show up, right? But, because it just all depends on really that offense. Because the defense was top 5 last year. Yeah. But at the same time, they gave up a lot of points because their offense kept turning over the ball and putting the defense in bad situations. So this is going to be a big factor.
They also lost to Aqib Talib as well. You have to look at that.
Yeah, but they still have Chris Harris, Roby, so they still have good corners there. Now, Aqib Talib, that might play a big factor, but with that pass rush, Nick Chubb, and let's not forget about Shane Ray, who's I think going into his last year in his rookie contract, so they're trying to see if he can actually get it together, if he can stay healthy, and Von Miller. And DeMarcus Ware is the pass rush specialist. So he's there coaching these guys up, one of the best ever to play the game. So it's going to be interesting.
And what excites me about this game is that I'm interested to see how Jimmy G can go up against a defense like this, because prior to this, you got the Vikings, you got the Chargers and the Rams. Yeah. Those are teams with good defenses. So and this might be the best one. Who knows? So I'm interested to see Jimmy G go up against these stacked defenses. Yeah. And see what he can do.
I think it could be a good game.
Yeah.
Close one.
All right, getting into Week 15. 49ers at home.
Yes.
Going up against the Seahawks once again. JD, how does this one go down?
I think they split this year. I think the Niners and Seahawks split home and home.
Yep.
I think this is how it's going to go down. I think they're kind of evenly matched, and I think the Niners, they do take that one. They finally, snap that streak of losing to Seattle and take that one at Levi Stadium.
Okay. Yeah, I got y'all split in the series too. At home, Seattle's on the road. 49ers, it's a rivalry game, It's gonna be good, but I think 49ers definitely pull this one out.
Yep, they are going to split the series with the Seahawks, and I'm going to say it's possible that the 49ers could even sweep the Seahawks.
Yeah.
It's yeah. I mean, and I think if it wasn't for the fact that, of Russell Wilson, I think we probably would all be in agreement with that. He's just that damn good. But I have them splitting the series, and San Francisco's going to win right here.
Yeah. Uh-oh. We're moving on to the next week.
All right, moving on to Week 16. Coming into Levi Stadium is the Bears. Chicago Bears coming to San Francisco. JD, floor is yours. Go ahead.
A lot of people are getting high on the Chicago Bears bandwagon right now. They're moving in the right direction. They got their quarterback. They have a decent run game. They picked up Allen Robinson and Taylor Gabriel in free agency. I mean, the receivers are looking really good. But, I still think Trubisky is a young guy, and I think the Bears are kind of a year away. I think that they're heading in the right direction, but you're not gonna, you're not gonna do it all overnight. And so I think, unfortunately for you, my friend, the Niners pick up that win week 16.
I think that's more than fair. I think you're right. Chicago Bears are still in that wait and see stages, up and coming. I don't expect them to do anything spectacular record wise. I would be happy if we could even go 8-8, 7-9. Yeah. I'd be absolutely happy. Maybe 6 wins this year for the Chicago Bears. And this is a game that I'm really interested in because we have quite a bit of 49ers fans here on the Sports Fury. Yep. And we go back and forth quite a bit. It's all good fun. But this is a game I went back and forth on, but I edged out the Chicago Bears right here.
Of course.
We have to get revenge against the 49ers for playing us last year because you guys made us trade up to get Mitchell Trubisky and give up those picks. But look, if we're healthy, that's a big if, because Chicago Bears were one of the most we have been one of the most plagued teams of injuries in the last 3 years. So that's a big if. But if healthy, I think the Chicago Bears defensively, that our D line, our front seven with Akeem Hicks, Leonard Floyd. You got Raquan Smith, who we just got, who could be Defensive Rookie of the Year. Now, what's going to be really interesting, JD, is Jimmy G going up against our secondary, because our secondary is pretty damn good. Adrian Amos, Eddie Jackson, the safeties. I mean, these are guys who Amos especially I think is going to be a Pro Bowler this year. You got Fuller, who's got his deal now. Now Prince of Makamura, is he going to be healthy here? I don't know. But on the other side of the ball, what really I think does it for us is our run game. Jordan Howard, Tariq Cohen, how Nagy is going to use Tariq Cohen is going to be, I think, it'd be really huge. So this is a really close game. Yeah, you guys could beat us for sure, but I think Chicago Bears win by a field goal. And remember, last year, you guys beat us by 1 point, and I think we win by a field goal, just by a field goal. Man,
this one's tough for me. I was the same way. I'm going back and forth. Both are up and coming teams. Both are young. This one's tough. But I'm gonna go with Chicago. Not because I like this guy. I actually hate this guy.
There we go.
But it's because the defense, I think, is going to play a big factor, right? I think there's still some both offenses are very up and coming, but I like Chicago's defense. They were top 10 last year. A lot of people don't know that. I didn't know that until after the season was over. I didn't know y'all had a top 10. And so I think that defense with Roquan Smith, I think that was their biggest weakness, is their linebackers. I think this defense could be pretty solid, and that's where I kind of give them the edge. It's just that defense as of right now. So, but I could see 49ers easily winning this, because if y'all get injured like y'all always do,
our defense and running, our defense and running game is what's going to keep us alive in this game.
That is also true. The 49ers gave up y'all's running game is still. I still want to see how y'all really do, because last year wasn't that great, right? So y'all's running game could take over.
JD, any other thoughts?
I do think the Niners take that game, but anytime that Vic Fangio is your defensive coordinator, as a Niner fan, I'm very familiar with Vic Fangio, so I know he's out there in Chicago. Anytime you have Vic Fangio calling your plays on defense, you have a chance to win a game. He can win a game for you just by himself as a coordinator. I think he's that good. Right. And you saw it this year. You saw it with the Bears and what they did defensively last year, even though nobody really noticed it. Vic Fangio is just that good of a play caller defensively.
Yeah.
So, you never know. But I do think the Niners take that game, but I do have respect for Vic Fangio.
Appreciate that, man. And we're so glad that we kept him. He's been through 3 coaches now.
Yeah. He's doing something right. Because most
so
time coaches come in and bring their own guys. So.
But San Francisco fans watching this, make no mistake about it. I am not taking you guys lightly whatsoever. We have no business taking anyone lightly, considering where we're at heading into this year. But it's going to be a good game. It's going to be a really good game.
It's going to be a close one.
Now, heading into Week 17, San Francisco 49ers close out the season going up against the L.A. Rams.
Yep.
JD, how do you see this one playing out?
That game is down in L.A., and, I think that game might very well possibly determine, a playoff spot or the NFC West crown potentially. I think that game could have a huge impact on both teams' seasons. And I predicted the Niners beat them at home at Levi Stadium earlier in the year. So here we are in Week 17, closing out the regular season in what could very well be a must-win game, a huge game, but I think the Rams take it. I think we split with the Rams this year. The Rams are a very stacked team. Todd Gurley's a monster. Jared Goff is a good quarterback. They have Brandon Cooks. I think that Kyle Shanahan is good enough to get us one game this year, but not two. I think at the end of the day we split with the Rams.
I completely agree. I think you guys split with the Rams here. I think at this point here in Week 17, you guys going on the road would absolutely love to spoil any hopes of the Rams getting a 1 or 2 seed if they're in that position. So and even if not, I think the 49ers are good enough to split with the Rams. So I think it's going to be a split series, and each team is going to win on each other's home field.
Oh, so you have the 49ers winning here.
I had the 49ers win this game.
Oh, wow.
I had the Rams winning back in Week 7, and
okay.
I had the 49ers winning here in Week 17 in L.A.
So he's picking the home teams to win. You're picking the away teams to win in the series.
Right.
Ooh. See, this one, I actually have the Rams winning because I feel like I like the Rams. Like you said, they're a stacked team. They're at home. And I think at this point, the NFC is stacked. Even if the Rams have a great record, they might have already locked the division, but they're still fighting for a playoff seed. And they could be fighting for a number 1, number 2 spot in the NFC. So I have them going into this game fired up, needing to get this W for home field advantage. And I think the Rams pull this out at home to end the season against the 49ers.
Okay. All right, so that is our predictions for Week 7, from Week 1 through 17.
Yep.
Now, I have them 8-8 as of right now, but my range is up to 11 wins for the 49ers. As I think you guys can beat my Chicago Bears. Yeah. Absolutely. I think you guys could sweep the Cardinals and possibly even sweep the Seahawks because of, I think they are going to be regressed this year.
Yeah.
And I could see a win against Denver at home. So I think you guys have 8 to 11, maybe even 12 win season here. We'll see how it goes.
Wow, okay.
But I am one of those guys outside of San Francisco that is looking at your team and loving what you guys are doing, and I respect it, and I think you guys I think you guys are one of those teams, like those bubble teams that are looking to you're all about to just burst and go on to that next level.
Yeah,
that's how I see you guys. So, Sean.
I got mine ended at 6-10, but there are about 4 games there at Chicago. I had y'all win, so 49ers could easily win that. They could sweep the Seattle Seahawks. They could possibly beat the New York Giants that I mentioned before. So I could see them winning possibly up to 10 games.
All right.
And, 9-7, 10-6, but right now I think the floor for me is 6-10. That's why I don't think y'all will lose any more than that, but y'all could easily win a lot more than that.
And we'll give you the last thoughts, JD.
Just speaking as somebody who's trying to be realistic with this team, because I don't buy into the super hype train that a lot of Niner fans are buying into. I don't think we're a Super Bowl contender this year. I don't even expect them to honestly win a playoff game this year. If they just barely missed out on a wild card berth, it wouldn't surprise me because we are a young team. We're heading in the right direction, but our schedule is kind of easier in spots. We kind of have an easy schedule in spots, especially the second half of the year. And, I could see this team going from anywhere from 9-7 to 11-5. That's kind of the range that I see the Niners in. If they went 9-7, I think that's the most realistic expectation that Niner fans should have, but it wouldn't surprise me if they did better than that. So we'll have to wait and see what happens, man. The football is about to kick off here soon, and I'm excited, and I appreciate you guys having me on your show, and it's been fun.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So you guys let us know in the comment section down below all your thoughts on the 49ers this coming up season. And once again, we do appreciate JD joining the show here. The link to his channel is right down in the description box down below.
Check him out, guys.
Head down there. Go subscribe, especially all our 49ers fans watching this. Go check out JD and go subscribe to him. JD, hey, man, best of luck to you guys this season. And I look forward to calling a lot of y'all's games during the year because you guys got 5 primetime games.
Goodness gracious.
We got your Cowboys this week in the preseason.
Yes, we do.
We got your Bears week 16. So I know you guys just wish me the best of luck. I'm not going to do the same thing. I hope we beat both your asses here.
We're gonna see. We're gonna see.
Oh, I can't wait for that week 16 now. All right,
man, it's gonna be fun. It's gonna be awesome.
All right, JD. All right, everybody. We'll see how it all plays out in the 2018 season.
Yep.
Later.